When was the last time you held yourself back because you were afraid of hearing the word no? I mean, be honest with yourself. When was the last time you avoided going after something because the idea of rejection was just, it was too much for you to handle? I know you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it was a networking opportunity. Maybe it was a personal relationship. And you had the chance. You knew exactly what you had to do. But for whatever reason, instead you decided that you weren't going to do it. You froze. You didn't make the call. You didn't send the email. You didn't take the shot. And it's like, why? I'll tell you why. It's because the fear of hearing no is the fear of rejection, and it paralyzed you. And the hard truth is, fear of rejection isn't just some small problem. It's the thing that's keeping you stuck. It's the invisible barrier that's holding you back from achieving everything that you want in this life. And you're not even fully aware of how much power you're giving it. And until you realize that, it's going to be a problem. I'll tell you about somebody that I knew a while back. His name was Nick, right? And Nick was this brilliant guy. He was smart. He was talented. He had all the potential in the world, but he also had this problem. And so Nick, every time he had an opportunity come up, he'd sabotage himself. It wasn't obvious at first. He would delay. He would find excuses. He would find reasons why now wasn't the right time. And he told himself, I just need to prep more. I need more information. I need more time. But the reality was Nick was scared. He was terrified of hearing no, terrified of being rejected. So he never put himself out there. You fast forward 5 years and now Nick's in the same place he was 5 years ago. Same place, same job, same house, same paycheck, same life. And meanwhile, the guys who were less talented, less experienced, and honestly, not even half as smart as Nick was, they're miles ahead of Nick right now. You know why? Because while Nick was sitting there paralyzed by his fear of rejection, those other guys were out there getting rejected over and over and over and over again. But they kept moving. They kept showing up. They kept pushing through because that's part of the process. See, rejection is part of the process that you're avoiding. If you're not getting rejected, you're not trying hard enough. You're not putting yourself into situations where you can fail. And if you're not doing that, you're never going to win. And that's the problem for most people. The problem isn't hearing no. It's letting the fear of hearing no control you. And the second you give into that fear, you've already lost. You got to put a stop to that. Because otherwise you put a cap on your growth. You've decided that it's safer to stay where you are, to play small, to live comfortably within your own little bubble, rather than risk rejection and actually level up to the next stage in life. And here's the thing. You're going to get rejected. It's inevitable. It's part of life. The mistake is in thinking that rejection is what defines you. And the real winners, they get rejected more than anybody else. You think successful people, you think they never hear the word no? Of course they do. But they embrace it. I'll tell you another story. This woman by the name of Erica. She's a dog trainer, right? She wanted to grow her business. She had this unique approach. She had an incredible skill set. And she had this burning desire to succeed. But for the longest time, she played small. She didn't put herself out there. She didn't market herself aggressively. She didn't chase the big clients or the big opportunities because she was scared of hearing the word no. No thanks. We're not interested. Terrified her. She was convinced that it was better to play small and play safe. Better to stick with the small jobs she knew that she could get instead of risking, being told and turned down by the people who had bigger opportunities for her. And one day she got fed up. She realized she wasn't putting herself out there. She was never going to grow. So she made the decision. She was going to embrace rejection. She was going to reach out to 50 people, potential clients, knowing that, maybe all 50 of them are going to say no. And guess what? She did hear a lot of no's, a lot of times. But you know something else? She got a lot of yeses too. And then she realized that her fear of rejection was this scary monster sort of lurking inside her mind. But when she actually confronted it, it wasn't as scary as she had made it out to be. And that moment changed the game for her forever. It opened new doors, new opportunities. She had more visibility. She had more business. But here's the key. She wouldn't have gotten any of those yeses if she wasn't willing to face the possibility that everybody was going to tell her no. Everybody was going to reject her. That was a possibility. And so think about it. In your situation, how many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid of having somebody say no to you? How many times have you held yourself back, convinced that rejection would somehow crush you? How many times did you convince yourself that maybe it wasn't the right time or that you weren't ready? You tell yourself this stuff because you're being cautious, or at least you think you are. But what you're really doing is you're hiding. You're hiding from rejection. You're hiding from discomfort. You're hiding from the one thing that's going to make you grow. And if you keep hiding from it, you're never going to move forward. See, because the winners in life, they're the ones who have mastered the art of getting rejected. They're not emotionally attached to it. They know rejection doesn't define them. They see it for what it is. It's an obstacle that they need to overcome. It's a lesson to learn. It's a part of the process. And if you can learn to embrace rejection, if you can get comfortable with it, get comfortable with people looking you in the face and saying no, there's literally nothing that you can't do. But most people won't do that. Most people will stay stuck, trapped in their own minds, crippled by the possibility that somebody might tell me no. Oh shit. Like, they've convinced themselves that playing it safe is smart. They'll tell themselves that they're being strategic. But the truth is they're scared. They're scared of rejection. And that fear is keeping them stuck. So you need to make a decision. And you have to make it right now. Are you going to let the fear of rejection control your life? Are you going to keep playing small? Are you going to keep avoiding the opportunities that could potentially change everything for you because you're scared of a little word called no? Or are you going to lean into it? Are you going to accept that rejection is part of the game? Are you going to start taking those risks? Because the only way you're going to grow, the only way to actually achieve real success is to get rejected over and over and over again and get comfortable with it and get used to it. Because here's what you need to understand. Rejection isn't failure. Rejection is feedback. Every time you get rejected, you're getting a little bit closer to success. Every no is one step closer to success. Every no is one step closer to yes. And that yes could change everything. But that's only going to happen if you stop letting the fear of rejection control you. If you keep playing small, if you keep staying comfortable, you're only going to wake up one day and you're going to realize years from now that you let your fear steal your future. You're going to look back and see all the opportunities that you could have had, all the chances that you missed. You're going to realize that you could have been miles ahead by now if you hadn't let the fear of rejection hold you back. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep letting the fear of rejection run your life? You're going to keep hiding from rejection? You're going to keep playing small? Or are you going to make the decision to face it here and now, head on? Take the risk. Put yourself out there to get rejected, to keep pushing forward. Choice is yours, because that's the only way you're going to win. And if you're not willing to face rejection, you're never going to break through. You're going to be stuck in the same place forever. So the choice is yours. Stay stuck, stay scared, or start embracing the one thing that's going to set you free. It's that simple. And remember, greatness is your obligation. Success will never happen without your participation. This life isn't just a warm-up. It's the only one you got. So take action right now, this instant, because today might be your only shot.